I was brushing my teeth one morning, but when I spat the water out, I had a terrible fright. There was blood in the sink. I was 24 years old at the time, and I just had my tonsils out. But I had been home for a week, and everything had been going great. In fact, I was even about to start a job the next week. I phoned the ear, nose and throat specialist who had done my tonsillectomy. Now, don't worry, I don't think you're dying, but you'll probably need to come and see me as soon as possible. Are you able to come and see me now? But when I put the phone down, I suddenly realised I was the only person in the house. My mother had gone shopping, my father was at work, all my brothers were out, and there were no vehicles in the driveway. But then I remembered. I lived opposite my church. I looked out the window and the minister's car was out front. So I phoned the office and explained the situation.
Don't worry, Michael. The minister's here and he'll be straight over, okay? Don't panic.
So I sat down on the lounge and tried to relax. The doctor had told me, don't do anything exerting, and so I waited. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. How long does it take someone to walk across the bloomin' road? I looked out the window again. His car was no longer there. Maybe he'd gone to get petrol. I sat down on the lounge again and tried to remain calm. 20 minutes. 25 minutes. Half an hour. Gee, his car must have been really empty. 35 minutes. 40 minutes. Maybe I should have phoned a taxi. But then I heard the door open. But it wasn't my minister from across the road. It was my mother.
Oh, Michael, you look terrible. What's wrong?
I explained what had happened.
Well, let's go straight away.
So we went to the doctors. Well, it's not good, but it's not life-threatening. I'm prescribing 10 days of bed rest to give it time to heal. But I'm starting a new job next week, I said. No, you're not. Phone them up and tell them you'll have to delay your start. When we got home, we noticed that the back window had been broken, that there were footprints on the kitchen table. As my mother checked to see if anything had been stolen, I decided I better phone the church to let them know that, well, I was okay and the minister needn't come anymore.
Oh, Michael, we're so glad you're okay. When I told the minister that you were bleeding, he went straight home to cover the upholstery of his seats with sheets, to protect them. And by the time he got to your place, well, there was no answer. So he thought the worst and broke in to make sure that you were okay. But, of course, you weren't there.
Though we laughed about it at the time, I got to tell you, I was really quite disappointed. Because in the scheme of things, I realised that I came second to the minister's car upholstery. And from then on, I've seen similar things where we, the church, are more concerned about our infrastructure, about our church buildings, about how things will impact us, about our reputation, rather than the needs of those who are in need. Jesus told a story when he was on earth to the religious people of his day. He told them about a man who was on a trip, but who was attacked and robbed by robbers. He was left beaten up and very ill. The first two people that came across him were two religious people, but all they could think about was if they touched him, they would become ceremonially unclean. All they could think about was how much time it would cost them, how much money it would cost them. So they walked away on the other side of the road. To shame the religious people that Jesus was talking to, he told them then of a despised Samaritan man that came along. And he gave this man the care that he needed. Jesus finished his story by asking, who do you think was this man's true neighbour? So, if you recognise a call for help, Put that person's needs as your first priority. That's right, even above something really important like your car's upholstery. If you enjoyed this story, then give me some encouragement. Send me a like or subscribe to my channel. And God bless.